Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. This is Daybreak and it's the youth edition here on Friday, as has been the tradition and is the tradition. This morning we are joined by Winfred Asiko, who is a youth advocate and an activist. Otieno Mokai is an advocate of the High Court. Kipkorir Serem is youth leader from the county of Kericho. Biko Wafula is an industrialist. Njeri Kahiga is also a youth leader from the county of Nyandarua. She admittedly does like getting that out of the title, but she is. And Philip Pande is a youth inclusion advocate here joining us this morning to give us the account of what's happening in the country and the scramble apparent for their support politically ahead of the elections in 2027. Pleasure having you here on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciated. Steve, coming to you because a lot has happened and all of the political capital now points to the young voices and the young votes. But who, in your view, within the political establishment has the best interests of Kenya's young population?
First, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I believe the way the current political structure is set, no one has the best interests of the young people. And I think the young people have been very clear and loud about what they want, what they need, and how they want decisions that affect them to be done. So if you look at the government is simply trying to scramble around to be able to find a footing space on how they can be able to engage with them. If you look at the opposition, I mean, the opposition is the other side of government. It's basically the same coin. So I believe as we sit here and debate, no one is actually thinking about the young people. The political class simply wants to find a way to be able to survive them. Because if we look at 2027, almost 12 million votes will be from the young people. And these young people are very ungovernable. They're very clear on what they want. They're very specific on how they want things to be done. So in all honesty, I don't think the current political class, either side, government or political aspect, have any interests at heart for the young people.
Yeah. In Jerry, then, what's the consolidation point of these votes? The millions, of course, will make, plus, of course, those who did not vote and those who did not register in the last election. So the number could be higher than 12 million, or for the IBC estimates to be 28 million registered voters by the next election. But Njeri, what's the gluing aspect of holding the young votes together?
Thank you so much, Ayub, for this opportunity, and to Royal Media for always inviting the young people, something that the government is unable to do, listening to the young people. And first of all, in terms of we as the young people, I have this strong conviction that we no longer need to wait for a certain category of people to give us the platform. We as the young people have taken it up to ourselves to ensure that we sit in tables where decisions are being made, because I believe, Ayub, the young people cannot stay back at home and wait for somebody to sit down and plan for the good deal of their 28 million votes. It is up to the 28 million votes to ensure that they are part of the deal. They sit at the tables where decisions are made, and they can be able to say that we as the young people in this table demand for this and this, because, you know, again, when it comes to matters political offices, it's more about who stands up to go seek for these positions. Nobody is gotten from home and told, hey, come be the governor of this county. You have to go outside there and vie for that position. And we as the young people, if you look at the political landscape as per now, even in this bench, if you are to ask how many aspirants do we have for women rep, for governor, for senator, for MP, for MCA, you will learn that quite a number of young people have decided that they want to specifically be the ones on the table. They want to be the one taking part in the share of the cake, so that they can be able to themselves decide which role they want to play in our political landscape, and also in ensuring that we push the agenda of the young people from inside, because for a long time, we've always been told that we are looking for youth inclusivity. But at this point, the number of the youth numbers in our data is way past everybody else. So it's no longer about youth inclusivity. It should be about now us talking about the minor group like the elderly people, the minor groups like people with disability, the minor groups. Youths are no longer now what we call a minor group, because we are the majority at this point. Yeah. And we can no longer agree to take the second space. Okay. We need to be in the first platform and ensure that it's us who decides what we want to have at the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Philip, certainly the scramble is very apparent and clear. But ideally then, who in your view has the best bet for these young voters? And if then we are to go by the two submissions made by Njeri and Wafula, that then appears is that there needs this need for self-political drive ahead of the elections. And how can that happen?
Very well. I thank you very much again for inviting me. It's been a while, and it's always a pleasure to be here to add our voices to the substance and the gist of the matter at the moment. And I love the fact that you call it the scramble for the youth. And apparently it's an issue that is cropping up everywhere, not just as highlighted by the media, but the reality is the country is waking up to the reality that the youth, as the president describes them, are a decisive force that the country needs to work with and tap energies and creativity to transform the economy. I must say that we are coming from a critical week, which we are calling the National Youth Week, and I'm delighted that this week on Tuesday, His Excellency the President took time to, for the very first time in 10 years, attend the National Youth Day celebration, the International Youth Day celebration, which is quite a clear message that the country is listening to what the youth voices are saying. The head of state has pressed pause and he's interacting with the youth. And something that was exciting at this particular meeting at the Masinde Muliro University in Kakamega, Ayub, was that after his speech, the president took yet another 1 hour to have a conversation with over 3,000 young people from across the 47 counties of Kenya today. And what this means is that as a nation, Kenya is beginning to have the best interest of the young people. And if you ask me, the credit belongs to the man in the arena. You go back to those very deep words from Theodore Roosevelt. Okay. The credit ultimately is going to go to the man in the arena, and that is going to be the president. He has been the center of the storm. We've called him names. This nation has stopped. The young people have been in the streets. And the big question is he solving the problem? Is he listening? Okay. And so when we begin to listen, and that is one thing that we have talked about over time here and on other platforms, that finally and ultimately, when we begin the conversation listening to one another, then we will win the war against the challenges that are facing the youth. Yeah. And so who has the best interest for the youth in the country? It must be certainly the head of state. Okay,
so we'll further discuss that. But Sarem, is that the way to go? And what's the value of such meetings with the young voices when some of the major demands that they had were never met from 2024?
Thank you. First, thank you for welcoming us to this show. It has always been a pleasure. So from the onset, I want to say that our country, Kenya, may not be endowed with those precious resources like gold, diamond, platinum, and etc. But then we have a precious resource called the youth. I say so because this is the people with energy, zeal, and they are like-minded, and they know many things. And that is why there is this mad rush from both political divides to take up their energy. But then I love how the conversation is proceeding because the youth are now awake and they now know who means well for them and who does not mean well for them.
Who means well for them and who doesn't, in your view?
This will be varied because many things are happening across the space of the youth. You'll find many things. And I was here last year, you remember, when we had a conversation about should we listen to the president or not. And you remember that conversation. That was all about the new university funding model when we formed a committee. And I'm proud this morning that as I come back to this show, the results when we sat are already on the public arena. And the people have seen what we've done, what we presented to the president, and he listened. And it means he has listened to the youth. Yes.
Okay. Council, a lot is happening certainly, but is this scramble for the young votes and the young voices, I mean, on short-term basis, or in your view, an engagement that will even outlive the elections in 2027?
Thank you, Ayub, and thank you to Royal Media for allowing us to voice our opinions in this great platform. Ayub, the topic scramble does not end well without the petition. So when we speak about scramble for the youth vote, then we must talk about the petition or the intended petition of this youth vote. Youth are critical in this country because there is no revolution, there is no change that has never succeeded or has never succeeded without the youth. But again, we need to understand that age itself is not quality. Age itself is not competence. The people we call old today, the Raila Odingas and the William Rutos, were youth at some point, but they were never static in that position. So we can't approach every other thing with age as a strength. And this group called youth, we need to understand there is an end to street crying. There's an end to hue and cry. You can't be formless, you can't be leaderless, you can't be maybe idealess for long. At some point you need to convene around an idea, an agenda, or organization. And how do we do this? My sister here asked whether in this panel there is anyone who's going for a political seat. I want to confirm to her that your fears should not go longer than this bench, because I'm also going for Member of Parliament, Bobasi constituency. We need to register, number one, as voters. We need to coalesce around our agendas. We need to also provide alternatives of the leadership we want by putting some of us in front, by taking that initiative and driving the change that we want. We also need to not inherit enemies that we don't know where they came from. We also need to stop singing slogans that we don't know where they were coined from. We need to zero down. For instance, how do you start saying one term, two term? How do you start saying Kasongo? How do you want to start?
But the president also says two term, is it?
But you see, these are familial wars that we are not part of. These people know each other in ways that we don't understand. I came to understand that Raila Odinga and Opio and I were comrades in 1992. Where are we coming from? We are not born then. Can we give ourselves chance to create our own relationship, our own love, our own hate? Can we create our own slogans? Can we create our own agendas? Let's not adopt children whose fathers we don't know. Let's take our time, create our agenda, front ourselves, vote, and drive the change.
All right. Certainly the political biology of Kenya's political class is evident. Yes, Winfred, what do you make of the move to target the young voters?
Thank you so much, Ayub, for the opportunity to be here. It's always a pleasure to voice our views as youth of this nation. First of all, I will go to the Constitution. You see, the Constitution of Kenya, Chapter 17, Article 260, stipulates that a youth is someone who's above the age of 18 and is below 35. And also in the same Constitution, Article 55, it gives us the Bill of Rights for the youth, what the youth of this nation are supposed to have. So I am looking at the few opportunities that politicians are dishing at the young people of this country as a way of saying that they are empowering them. They are not doing us a favor. This is our right as the youth of this country to have the opportunities. That is why we have AGPO. That is why we have that is why we had Kazi Mtaani, which has halted for quite some time. So I feel like, yes, they are scrambling for the youth vote, because it is actually the biggest percentage in this country. 75% of this Kenyan population is between the age of 18 and 35. So yes, they are the largest population. And as they scramble for this vote, let them know that we, the youth of this country, have all the information that we want, because, you know, we are living in a digital world. We are not living in the archaic, we are not living in the world that was there before us. We are in a new world, digital world. All the information is on Google, and the youth of this country are able to access this information in a clear way. Like, I am looking, for example, the Auditor General of Kenya. The Constitution gives him the mandate in Article 229 to check on how the public offices are using the government finances.
Okay.
And this information is always on Google, on different digital media platforms, and the youth can access it. So let this government know that the youth of this country know this information, and they know everything that is going on. It's not like they are working with people that are blind. They are working with a awake generation, a generation that really understands what is their position in the society.
So when we get back from the break, ladies and gentlemen, then we turn our attention on whether the political establishment reads the public mood. And yes, the day before yesterday, the president warned bribe-taking lawmakers, saying that oversight parliamentary committees are being turned into money-minting operation centers, and frustrations expressed by governors and cabinet secretaries. And we discussed the institutional independence of the House, given what happened in 2024 when they were dead against the punitive tax proposals contained in the now dead finance bill. After the break here on the broadcast, stay tuned.